morning, folks, and welcome to Slade Centers. My name is Reed. I'm the Director of Information Services. And we've been talking in this series about how to advertise with a limited budget for your small business. Today, what I'd like to talk about is tracking. And you're going to say, Reed, what exactly is tracking? Tracking is keeping track of the results of your advertisements. It makes no sense in the world to have an ad that you place in the newspaper that you have expended time, effort, and skull sweat in order to do the best ad possible and not know how it ran. And so, first of all, once you have designed your ad, have someone else take a look at it, because maybe you misspelled something. Gosh, could it happen to me? Yes, it has. And you must make sure that you have all the right phone numbers in there. Has that happened to me? Yes, it has. You must make sure that the name of your business is spelled correctly. Has that happened to me? Yes, it has. And you must make sure that you have the correct time, because, has that happened to me? Yes, it has. Because if you don't, you might be telling people to call the wrong phone number, looking for the wrong name at the wrong time, which is a total waste of your time and will turn people off rather than turning them on. So every time that you write an ad, you must first check the ad and have a system of proofing it to make sure that you have the correct information going out there to your customers. Trust me, you look like an idiot when you don't check. Been there. Next, once you have placed the ad, you want to get a proof from the advertisement, from the newspaper, from the magazine, from the radio spot. You want to make sure that it was done correctly, because you might not have made a mistake. Maybe they did. Has that ever happened to me? Yes, it has, which is why you must check everybody's results, because once that ad is run, there are no do-overs. If you give the wrong information, you look like your company is incompetent. So you must check. Once the ad is placed, you want to make sure that every time the phone rings and you answer it, you ask people this question: can you tell me how you heard about our business? Oh, it's an ad in the Post. Great. And when did you see this? Very simple. People will gladly tell you how they heard about you and then go into helping them. If you don't ask, your advertising dollars will waste it. You must track everything. And what I would suggest is do this on a spreadsheet so that you're able to keep track of which advertisement plays the best. And I would, if I'm doing a radio ad, I would have a timesheet so that I know the ad went at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. How many phone calls did I get between 3 o'clock and 3:30? Between 3:30 and 4, between 4:30 and 5. And go like that, because you're going to get the most response within 15 minutes of when that ad is placed. Most people don't write down the telephone number for a radio ad. Now, if you have an ad in the paper, that is slightly different, and people have a tendency to hang on to those if they're interested, and they'll look longer. But again, the same concept applies. The day it comes out, you're going to get the most response. Second day, less response. Third day, less response. Fourth day, less response. And you're saying, Reed, do you go ahead and place these every day? Typically, I don't. I place it in the day that I think is going to have the most luck. If it's a weekly paper, I place it in that week, and I see what days people call. If it is a daily paper, I typically will only place this on Saturday or Sunday. Those are the days of the highest readership, when people have the time and the inclination to read the papers, and the rest of the time I'm not going to place ads in there. Why? It's a waste of my money. Have I run ads on a daily basis? Yes, I have. But what I have found is that when I run it on a daily basis, those ads are wasted. I don't know what the results will be for you. Check. Make sure. And you say, Reed, it's a lot of work to go ahead and check these ads and see when people called and what they were doing, what ad they responded to. Yes, it is. But if you don't, you've wasted your time. Now, if you're doing a direct response and people don't respond, something was wrong with the ad. Don't freak out. Ask yourself, how can I do this better? One of the things that I like to do is A/B testing. You have the same ad, except for you changed one word in the headline. And you want to have these ads running maybe on different days and see which one gets you the better response. Or you do a mail out and you change one thing. And when someone calls in, you have a number. Let's say bottom right hand corner you have a small little number 001. And then over here on the B test you have 002, or you have A or you have B. And you ask people when they first call in, if you would do me a favor, look down the right hand corner and what do you see there? Do you see an A or do you see a B? You see a B? Great. Now you know which ad did better and you're able to change. You know, say, Reed, is there any way I could do an A/B test before I place this in the newspaper? Yes, there is. Do a mock-up of your ad. Let's say you have an ad on a flyer, and hand this to your customers when they come in. You know, I'm doing a marketing test. If you got just a couple seconds, do you mind if you give me a hand here? Take a look at these. Which one do you like better? A or B? You like A. Great. Here's another A/B test. Which one do you like better? A or B? Great. Here's another A/B test. Which one do you like better? A or B? And you find out which results, which ones people like the most. When you do that on a repeated basis, what will happen is you'll get the best response. Now, sometimes the way you ask your customers will determine their response. So you want to be as objective as possible so you have an unbiased sampling. And finally, once you have the ad in the paper, once it's running, don't change it. And you say, Reed, I thought you wanted me to change this every day. If it's working, don't change it. People have a tendency to see an ad and they will respond to this based upon a level of trust. And so if you have the same ad in there, maybe you're changing some of the specials. Maybe if you have a tire store, you're doing 20-inch wheels one day and you're doing 22-inch wheels the next day. But basically the headlines, the taglines, all the content, the look of this should stay the same. The only thing that should change is if you have specials. And you'll say, Reed, what about all those radio and TV ads that change on a daily basis? Every year we see different Super Bowl ads. Here's the question. Do they work? Think of last year's best Super Bowl ad. What did it say? Oh, it was funny. It had okay, what company was it promoting? Next question. Did you buy any of those? Those are brand awareness ads. They're not asking for a direct response. With a brand awareness ad, you only do that when you have money to burn. But a lot of those companies that were doing those brand awareness ads, people are aware of the brand, and then they see another company comes out that didn't have to spend $100 million on Super Bowl ads, that comes out at a cheaper price, and they say, hey, this one's cheaper. Yeah, it's probably the same amount, same quality as this over here, but they didn't have to spend money on Super Bowl ad. I'll go with this one.